Yesterday, we talked about Hillary Clinton running for president, and I said, I don't want people to misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not expressing my support for Hillary Clinton's politics. I am merely saying that on paper, she is one of the most qualified presidential candidates in a long time. It doesn't seem like anybody listened to what I had to say, Lewis, because I got emails and tweets and Facebook posts and hundreds of YouTube comments saying, David, how can you support Hillary Clinton's politics? I don't understand how you can do it. Why didn't anybody listen to what I said, Lewis, that it was not an endorsement of Hillary Clinton's political views?
Maybe you just didn't stress that enough. Yeah, I think it was maybe one or two sentences. Maybe you needed to go on about that a little bit more.
Well, let's talk about Hillary Clinton's political views. Truth Out has a very interesting piece which argues that real progressives should not support Hillary Clinton because she's not actually progressive. And it goes through 5 areas. Let's go through them. First is foreign policy. And they say, as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton was reportedly one of the most hawkish members of President Obama's cabinet, pushing for the 2009 troop surge in Afghanistan, pushing for U.S. intervention in Libya. She has also been a vocal proponent of the same drone war that has led to the deaths of 2,400 civilians. Not a surprise to most people, Lewis. We've discussed that, particularly on foreign policy, Hillary Clinton is far more to the middle or right, however you define it, probably more to the right than President Obama, certainly more to the right than her husband and former President Bill Clinton. Foreign policy, not really the area to look for to tout Hillary Clinton's progressive credentials.
Not at all. And her husband, I think he made a lot of mistakes when it came to foreign policy. She might repeat that.
Number 2, the economy. Hillary Clinton has long nurtured close ties to the financial sector, Truth Out writes. Over the course of her political career, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Citigroup have been among her top political donors, in addition to giving heavily to the Clinton Foundation. And in October of 2013, Hillary Clinton was paid $400,000 to speak at 2 Goldman Sachs events and delivered what was described as a reassuring message to the assembled bankers. We've talked about Hillary Clinton's relationship with Goldman Sachs for a long time. No question about it. Here, though, we have to be discerning. Is her relationship, how much worse or how much more in bed is she with these banksters than other candidates who would realistically have a shot at being president? And I think that's a key question, because ultimately, most candidates will take money from these corporations.
I think she is in bed with them as you can be, because if you want to be president, you need their help.
On the environment, as Grist magazine reported, during her tenure as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton took an active role in promoting hydrofracking worldwide through the global shale gas initiative. Clinton's State Department, and in some cases she personally, lobbied on behalf of companies like Chevron, intent on expanding the practice of fracking, particularly in countries like Bulgaria and Romania, where there was widespread public skepticism. Hillary Clinton, not known as the top environmentalist, that's for sure.
No, she is not. And, I guess we can't put her husband in that category either. They're somewhat similar there.
Civil liberties. In the Senate, Hillary Clinton voted for the Patriot Act as well as its subsequent reauthorization. And in an appearance in April of 2014 at the University of Connecticut, she defended NSA surveillance and she chastised whistleblower Edward Snowden, accusing him of supporting terrorism. I have to say on this one, how are we defining whistleblower? Edward Snowden revealed techniques that were legal, albeit by very sketchy means. But we need to talk a little bit about the definition of whistleblower. This one, for me, is less of a concern in context of what we're talking about. Many Democrats supported those things for political reasons. Not that that makes it okay, but it doesn't necessarily make Hillary Clinton stand out.
No, I mean, I think in the position she was in, her jobs over the years, it kind of makes sense that she would have this mentality about the surveillance culture.
And number 5, culture wars. In 2005, Hillary Clinton joined a bipartisan group of senators in signing on to the Workplace Religious Freedom Act, which, according to the ACLU, would have effectively legalized discrimination, Later the same year, she introduced a bill that would have made flag burning a felony. She has a long history of anti-video game demagoguery. She once called upon the Federal Trade Commission to investigate the Grand Theft Auto hot coffee mod, which modifies Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with a sexually explicit minigame within the game. Certainly not the priorities I would want a progressive to have with regard to cultural and social issues. That's for damn sure.
And let's add that it doesn't really seem like she's a huge fan of marijuana legalization either.
Yeah, we are going to watch this very closely. I think for now we can talk about what Hillary Clinton has said in the past. Once we have more Democratic candidates, Lewis, we'll be able to more fully compare and contrast what her platform will be running for president to those of other Democrats, if she has Democratic challengers in a serious way.
Yes. But when I look at this list that we just covered, I see a history of it basically looks like this whole time she's been setting herself up to receive massive amounts of money from every possible direction, from every possible industry, to help her win the presidency.
Well, many people would agree with exactly what you're saying, Lewis, and you can rest assured that this is going to be an ongoing topic of discussion. Let's take a break. Give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/David Pakman Show.